Okay, so this is part one of a preliminary guide, which I'm going to put into a playlist, which precedes the Amaria Instant Buffer, which is technique number 8. Okay? All right, so the reason for me doing this is so those who are not familiar with the terminology, because when one does the technique, it's important to understand what you're doing and understand it as simple as possible. Your intention is everything. This first PDF, and let me just say this, also these will be done in a PDF form, which will be available on Patreon as well. Okay? Now, once I finish this series or playlist here on YouTube, then I will proceed with putting together the technique, okay? So that it'll be a guide that you can follow. And all that will be available on Patreon, okay? And I'll let you know. So we're going to first begin here with, primarily it's the life force currents, and we're going to focus on the particae, all right? When you hear Heliolic breath current, see there has to be an easier way to be able to think of this. Again, using these terms and everything are fine for some people, but people that are new, they have no idea what this is, right? All right, so it's important to understand this in its most simplicity. All right, so when you hear the use of a 6-pointed star, okay, or breath current, this is the life force currents. You'll notice here we have a two-dimensional image of a Heliolic grid. And right next to it, we have a particae circulatory current depiction. All right? You want to look at, okay, there's 6 points, right? And obviously to the right there, you can see that star shape. That also looks like a Merkaba shape, right? 6-pointed star. Okay, and then you can see arrows moving with the pink and with the blue in 2 different directions. Now, when we're talking about the life force currents, this is what we're breaking it down to. In its most simplistic way to communicate this is understand everything is made up of the particae. So the in and out breath of creation is understood as the magnetic contraction, the in-breath, and the electrical expansion, the out-breath, of the counter-rotating fields within the particae encryption. Okay? The electromagnetic fields that make up all potential universal structure. This is it. So what is a Helion? Well, seeing here is a 2-dimensional image of a vertical line with a pink ball at the bottom. That is a pink ball at the bottom. And this is representing vibration or magnetic energy. Okay? And the top blue ball representing oscillation or expansion or electrical energy. Okay? The pink ball also represents the copy of the first creation intention thought vibration. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. The pink ball also represents the copy of the first creation intention thought vibration. The blue ball also represents the inversion or equal opposite of the pink ball. That is to say, electrical is the inversion of magnetic vibration. Now, this is a very simple concept because we see this in everyday life. Everything that we use within our home or facilities is based completely around this. How we have lights, how we transmit electricity, this is the function by which everything works. Okay? Okay, you can say that a chelon, therefore, is both positive and negative. That is to say, electromagnetic energy, right? Magnetism being the ground, okay? Like when you ground a circuit, right? Magnetism being the ground and electrical being the expansion of the vibratory energy creating current or energetic movement. Now, energy is conscious, right? And consciousness is energy. It is important to understand that everything is alive. Every single thing is made up of particuli. Okay, so when a grid is formed, we're talking about the chelon grid, all right? In this case, when a grid is formed, it has a command center. I'm going to repeat that. It has a command center of conscious, energetic, directed instruction for the building of structure. This is for the service of the God sentient being in order that they may, you and I, the God sentient being, may manifest their creative intention. In other words, this is the way the God sentient being commands the ether. All beings are at the service for all beings. And all structure is conscious living beings. We become all things to perpetuate creation and in the process assist and serve one another for all our evolution. So, as we can see here, we see a chelon, a representation of a chelon, and in the center we have a conscious command center. Now, what is that? It is the living conscious collective that allows for us to be able to manifest. That's, again, to emphasize, to be understood as that everything is at service for one another. Everything is alive, and everything is conscious, and everything is aware, and everything has a very specific intent in regard to the structural design, the intention behind the structure, and what occupies the structure for the purpose of fulfilling that original intention, that creation vibration, the first creation vibration, thought intention. What is that? It's for the benefit of all life. That is the natural order. So, as we can see here, there's a command center within the grid, and it's waiting for the God sentient being's desire to create, and it manifests accordingly. The 6-point Hierophant or chelon grid, as we can see here, and in the center, the command center for the instruction of the electromagnetic fields, which allows for formation according to intent. What you imagine, what you desire. If you can form a thought clearly, you can manifest it. You go out of the body and it can be immediate. Okay? Now notice the circulation here within, as we can see, the star shape or formation, which is the electromagnetic field. So you have a magnetic base code and electrical acceleration code. So notice the circulation of the base and acceleration code pattern. This is the life force currents. This is what is referred to as the Heliolic breath current. Okay? Particuli, source seed, Merkaba, electrotonal unit of consciousness, the code, okay, whatever name you would like to use, it's all living intended purposeful beings serving for the benefit of all life. Okay, hopefully this has helped you understand this better. Okay, knowing with what we're dealing with, it's not static and it's not separate from who we are in regard to being part of the life. It's all living, and it's at the service. We are meant to be at service, and at service for one another, for the intended purpose for our evolution, to perpetuate creation. So when when beginning the technique and certain terminology comes up, associate it with how intimate this is and how very clear it is in regard to the function. The electromagnetic fields are creating the form. Why? Because the magnetic aspect of it, the vibration, is the intention. Okay? And then it holds within it that purposeful intended reason or manifestation, and then the out-breath is the acceleration code that brings it into form. Light is form. Light is form. It is the equal opposite of vibration. That is frequency. That is color. Right? Brings form, manifests form according to the God sentient being's intent. So these are, in its simplest way to view it and understand it, the life force currents. Okay? So your intention, going back to that, your intention is so important. It is the most important thing. So having a clear understanding is going to enable you to be able to have a very clear intent. All right. Thanks, folks.